Hi ladies, in this video we're going to go through the solutions to the Cambridge test for 6A to 6E. So I might just make it a little bit bigger. Oh, maybe not that bigger, much bigger. Sorry, I did have it smaller and then I made it bigger, but I think I need to make it a lot bigger. All right, let's move through this quickly. So question one, I might not write every answer here. I might talk through some of them. We'll just see how we go. So question one, what we've got is a division. So when we divide, we subtract our powers. So it's 18 to the power of 10 is our 18 being our base. So we subtract our powers. 10 minus 7 gives you 18 to the power of 3. Question two. Just don't want to work too quickly and miss anything. Evaluate 3 squared times 2 to the power of 19 divided by 2 to the power of 16 without using a calculator. So even though they're big powers, you're basically got, and if I write this division as a fraction, so 2 to the power of 19 over 2 to the power of 16, that's the same as, I'll just do 3 squared is 9. And the division, we subtract our powers. So 2 to the power of 3. So that's going to be 9 times 2 to the power of 3 is 8. So your answer is 72. Okay, so even though we've got large powers here, you use your index laws to know that 2 to the power of 19 divided by 2 to the power of 16 is the same as 2 to the power of 3. All right, question 3. All right, we've got 45y to the power of 8 divided by 9y to the power of 6. Now again, I think it's easier to see it as a fraction because things line up. I think it's easier to see. All right, so we've got 45 divided by 9, which is 5. And then we subtract our powers. So 8 minus 6 gives us 2. So 5y squared. All right, question 4. Any number raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So I might just put that there. All right, question 5. Sorry, my pen keeps twisting around and I can't press the buttons on the pen. Okay, so we've got m to the power of 4 to the power of 6 divided by m to the power of 10. Now, when we've got a power to a power, we multiply the powers. So 4 times 6 gives you 24. And then I'm going to write it just as a division like that. And then we subtract our powers. So 24 minus 10 gives you 14. So m to the power of 14. All right, question 6. Evaluate. Now, some people mix the r to the power of 0. R to the power of 0 or anything to the power of 0 is just 1. So I'm going to write the question first. So we basically have in here 5 times 1, because remember r to the power of 0 is just 1, plus 3 all squared. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8, so 8 squared, which gives you 64. All right, let's move on to question 7. All right, so a bit of a larger one here. So we've got y squared to the power of 5 times y to the power of 4 squared. And I'm going to write the division like this. And we've got y to the power of 4 cubed. All right, so on the top, we're going to have, remember you multiply your powers, so y to the power of 10 times y to the power of 8. And then on the bottom, we've got y to the power of 12. When you're multiplying, you add your powers, so we're going to have y to the power of 18 over y to the power of 12, and then when you're dividing, you subtract your powers, so we're going to end up with y to the power of 6. All right, question, oops, funny looking 8. All right, simplify. So Everything inside the bracket is taken to the power of 2, so don't forget that coefficient of y. So 2 to the power of 2, and then we multiply these powers. 2 to the power of 2 is 4, so it's 4y to the power of 6. Question 9. Expand. So we're going to have 4. Oh, let's write the question first. Okay, so everything again is taken to the power of 2. So we have 4 to the power of 2 and k to the power of 5 times 2. So 4 squared is 16, k to the power of 10. All right, question 10. We've got 1 over 16 is the same as 1 over 4 squared. Okay, so you can see in the question we want the base 4. So 16 is the same as 4 squared. And we're going to be writing that because 4 is now not a fraction, it's a whole number. But we write it then to a negative power, which is -2. So just understanding your negative indices. All right, question 11. Enter the missing coefficient and the missing index. So let's write the question first. 16y to the power of 5. There's a division there. 8y to the -3. Okay, let's keep it as a, well, we don't really need to keep it as a fraction, but I'll do it like that first. So 16 divided by 8 is 2. Now, we've got y to the power of 5. Remember, when we're dividing, we subtract our powers. So we're going to subtract -3, and then we're left with a 1 on the bottom. So your final answer should be 2y to the power of 5 minus -3 gives you +8. So a bit of a tricky one there with your negatives. All right, question 12. Write the basic numeral for this. So we've got 3 times 5 squared times 2. So 5 squared is 25. So 3 times 25 is 75 times 2. So your final answer is 150. All right, question 13. Just scroll up a bit. So we've got 2p to the power of 4 times 4q to the power of 5. So we multiply these coefficients. So 2 times 4 is 8, p to the power of 4, q to the power of 5. Oh gosh. I was wondering what I was doing wrong there. Sorry, girls. That is not a p, it's a q. Sorry. That's me rushing. Okay, so it should be a q there. So we add our powers. So 4 plus 5 gives you 9. All right, question 14. So this one here, we kind of have to do a little bit more of a thinking process to think about what that power is going to be. So we've got d to the power of something divided by d to the power of 10 equals d to the power of 2. So remember, to get that 2, we subtract our powers. So basically we're asking what number do we subtract 10 from to get 2? So your answer is 12. So I might just put in there that it's 12. All right, question 15. So a bit of a long one, but let's just write it out. So 2aqb squared divided by 7 times a squared divided by 3. Now, we'll do the division in a second. We don't need to write that just yet, but this is going to be, I think, a little bit of working out. All right, so we'll do this multiplication first. So let's bring everything onto the same, onto the numerator. So a, now I'm going to add the powers at the same time. So 3 plus 2 gives you 5. Then we've got b. And then on the denominator, we've got 7 times 3, which is 21. Just making sure I haven't forgotten anything there. I did, I forgot a 2. Okay, and then we've got dividing this fraction. So when we're dividing a fraction by a fraction, we can change the sign and flip the second fraction. All right, so let's bring everything together. So 2 times 7 gives you 14, a to the power of 5b squared over 21, a to the power of 5b. Just making sure I haven't forgotten anything. Okay, so 14 over 21 is the same as 2/3 because 7 is your highest common factor. 7 goes into 14 twice and 21 3 times. A5 over A5, so they cancel each other out, and then b squared over b is just b. So 2b over 3. All right, question 16. 6 plus 2 to the power of 0. Remember, 2 to the power of 0 is just 1, so that's 6 plus 1, which is 7. All right, question 17. I'm really thirsty from talking so quickly. So expand, so we've got k to the power of 7 to the power of 2, excuse me, and we multiply our powers, so it's just k to the power of 14. So they seem to be getting quite easy at the end. Okay, question 18. So everything is taken to the power of 5. Okay, so notice the 5 outside the bracket. So don't forget that 2 is to the power of 5, the x is to the power of 5, and the y is the power of 5 as well. So we multiply those powers. 2 to the power of 5 is 32. Then we've got x to the power of 5, y to the power of 4 times 5, which is 20. Can I fit that in? All right, question 19. All right, write the basic fraction for 2 to the power of -3. So it's kind of done a bit of the working out for you. So 2 to the -3, because it's a negative power, we can switch it. So just remember that's the same as 2 over 1. And then 2 cubed is 8. And I think we're ending on question 20. Is that right? Yes. Let's make sure there's no more questions hiding down there. So question 20, we have 2.4 times 10 to the -2 times 2 times 10 to the -3. So I'll just do this underneath. So 2.4 times 2 is 4.8, and then we've got 10 to the -2 plus -3 is -5. So it's leaving your answer as a negative power. All right, girls, well done. See ya.